Thanks and welcome to the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry at Tembe. Let's flag off with our top stories. Shock and fear rippled through a Bolongwang neighborhood in Sangmelima after a gruesome discovery of 50-year-old Cesar Messina found murdered in his home. And with just 48 hours to the 2025 regional elections, Elekam officials in Vuri are racing to complete last-minute preparations, determined to deliver a transparent and orderly vote. This is happening as observers have been receiving briefings from or before their deployment across Cameroon. And internal tensions are shaking Cameroon's National Salvation Front of Issa Chiroma Bakari as conflicting declarations over the party's participation in the upcoming regional elections deepen rifts amongst its leaders. Top stories. And check us on our respective platforms on Canal D International. We begin from the South region, precisely in Sangmelima at the Bolongwang neighborhood, where it is shock and fear ripples through that neighborhood after a gruesome discovery of 50-year-old Messina discovered dead in his home. The crime that has actually shaken the neighborhood has left residents calling for urgent answers from investigators. Details with Morindi.
Blood, silence and shock, that's the grim reality that greeted residents of Bolongwang, a neighborhood in Sangmelima, early Thursday. The lifeless body of Cesar Messina, a man in his 50s, was discovered in his home, lying in a pool of blood. What began as an ordinary morning quickly turned tragic as news of his brutal murder spread across the area. According to neighbors, Messina is believed to have been attacked during the night from Wednesday to Thursday by unknown individuals. The crime scene was marked by blood spatters across multiple rooms, the bedroom, living room and corridors, suggesting a violent struggle. The victim's grieving mother, who said she last saw her son the previous day, is demanding answers and justice.
Avant que j'arrive, il était avec les gens.
On a trouvé encore gisant de sang. On l'a conditionné, on a mis à la disposition de la gendarmerie.
Authorities, including the divisional officer, the public prosecutor, and firefighters, arrived shortly after being alerted, finding the households steeped in sorrow and disbelief. As investigations unfold, Messina's body has been taken to local morgue, while the community remains on edge, hoping those responsible will be swiftly brought to justice.
Just 48 hours to go for the 2025 regional elections. Elekam officials in Vuri division are racing to complete last-minute preparations, determined to deliver transparent and orderly vote barely 1 month after the presidential polls. Now, Maureen D was at the Elekam regional office and now reports.
The stakes are high as Cameroon prepares for its second ever regional council elections, and logistical pressure is mounting with just 2 days remaining. In the Vuri division, concerns about voter readiness, material distribution and polling station setup have prompted intensified efforts from electoral body Elekam. From publishing voter lists to deploying materials and training personnel, Elekam says it is fully engaged in ensuring a smooth and credible vote following the November 30 regional council election.
Nous avons déjà reçu tout le matériel.
We have already received all the necessary electoral material for the proper conduct of this election, including the final voter list, all essential documents such as report sheets, attendance sheets, ballots, and operational materials for polling stations. Whether at the regional delegation or divisional antenna, ELECAM officials say they are focused on team motivation and close monitoring, key elements for a successful election day. It's also important to mention that the grand electors' cards have been available for several days now. Our team is actively distributing them through the mayors, whom we have contacted to gather all municipal councillors to ease the distribution process. For the second time in its history, Cameroon will hold regional council elections on Sunday, November 30, 2025.
Thanks, Maureen. And in the meantime, tensions or internal tensions are actually shaking the Cameroon's National Salvation Front of Issa Chiroma Bakari, as conflicting declarations from party officials are actually deepening the rift ahead of the upcoming regional elections. While some are saying that they will go for the elections, others are against their participation. Hyacinth Chair takes a look on that. Ambo Gladys has been talking with some of these leaders.
Indiscipline and insubordination, these are the words repeated by supporters of the National Salvation Front we met in Gaoundéré in the Adamawa region. Many say the statement published in L'Oeil du Sahel newspaper on November 27, suggesting the party would submit a list for the regional election, amounts to a major misstep.
We are all confused. We don't even know which direction to take. We just need clarity. He's not a disciplined member. Karamoko drew up his own list with his brothers. He did everything.
Some accuse Special Advisor Suleiman Karamoko of acting on his own and submitting a list without the party's approval.
In every political organization, there are always black sheep, and those we expect to uphold the rules are often the ones who cause the most trouble.
From the Gambia, where he is currently based, party leader Issa Chiroma Bakari issued a swift denial. He publicly disavowed his special advisor and reaffirmed that the FSNC party will not present any list in the regional election anywhere in the country.
If he sanctions Karamoko, then we'll know the FSNC truly isn't functioning. But what if he doesn't? When a president appoints a spokesperson, all decisions must be communicated through that spokesperson. Anything else is simply insubordination.
The mixed messages have exposed deeper tensions within the FSNC party. As the November 30 vote approaches, the party appears incredibly divided, its leadership at odds, its militants uncertain, and its public voice no longer unified.
Thanks, Amber Gladys. The bank reporting there, and calls for cleaner, more inclusive land governance actually took center stage in Yaoundé at National Assembly as MPs actually pressed for governments to overhaul Cameroon's troubled land reforms that has been shaking the country. And this was during a high-level discussion at the session in Yaoundé. Details with Hyacinth Chair.
A moment of exchange between the network of parliamentarians for the sustainable management of Central African forest ecosystems and the government this November 27, 2025 at the Hemicycle to examine the elements of advocacy on land issues in Cameroon.
We intend to put into place all of our proposals that were placed on the table in the last meeting in Bankomo here in Yaoundé. Our hope and expectations are varied. Varied not like differences, but in the sense that they will cover a lot of expectations of the Cameroonian people and the Cameroonian society at large.
Addressing officials of the Ministry of State Property, Survey and Land Tenure, the members of Parliament present their concrete expectations.
We intend to see the issuance of land documents, simplified procedures. We intend to see a reactivated process of acquisition of lands. We intend to see the protection of the rights of the women and, of course, the younger generation of Cameroonians who were barred from acquiring land documents. We expect also to see the involvement of local communities in the management process.
Appreciating the proposals, MINCAF says there is work in progress for an inclusive land laws.
The German Development Country Development Corporation contributes to this process since 3 years now. And of course, within 3 years, we cannot change everything, but we can give some incentives. And this is what we try to do on all different levels, the national level, the regional level, the local level.
The forum also brought together technical partners in the process.
Nous voulons arriver à une loi foncière plus inclusive, plus participative, avec l'implication des chefs traditionnels.
It should be noted that the network has been on the advocacy since 2013, hoping to get results.
Thanks very much, Hyacinth Chan. A nationwide push to expand financial access has brought banks, insurers, and regulators to the town of Buea. And of course, it is a campaign that is designed to bring financial services closer to the communities and enhance their potentials. Sherifa Saleh reports with curls from Southwest correspondent Jama Richard.
The core aim of the Financial Inclusion and Consumer Protection of Financial Services Caravan is to bring financial services closer to communities while ensuring that consumers are better informed and protected.
In terms of strategy, we seek to create a regional platform for inclusive incubating policies so that they'll be able to understand their needs. The various players that you've seen, banks, the financial institutions as a whole.
The Ministry of Finance have gathered banks, insurers, credit unions, and sector stakeholders in Buea under the theme Savings, Last Mile Financing, and Protection of the Consumer Financial Services, Strategies and Opportunities during a 2-day workshop.
Is for us to partner with microfinance so that if they can go to their banks and then pay instrumentally there, and then when the premium is okay, the bank just transfer to us and then we get to them. They were, because even the handicapped people today are also finding it difficult.
We have 19 members with disability, and disability is not inability. Because out of these 19 members, we have 8 of them that have loans, means that they are into operations.
Representing the governor, the Inspector General urged participants to use the caravan to drive economic growth and improve financial access. The event closed with renewed hope that strategies discussed will strengthen consumer protection and advance financial inclusion across Cameroon.
Sherifa Saleh and young girls across Cameroon actually gathered in Yaoundé for the country's first ever national forum on girls' rights. This was a platform to demand greater inclusion, greater protection and recognition of the girl as an instrument and major actor in nation building. Ate Bonaventure sat through that discussion for the 6:15.
Cameroon's girls are not asking for permission to exist, but are rather claiming for a place that is rightfully theirs. The Maiden National Forum on Girls' Rights, held under the auspices of the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family and UNICEF, is a decisive step for adolescent girls' rights and leadership.
Oui, un mouvement qui se lève. Un mouvement qui promet que la place de la fille dans ce pays ne sera plus jamais la même. Nous sommes capables de changer ce pays.
The girls have seized the occasion to express their enthusiasm and wish for their voices to be heard and to partake in decision-making that takes into consideration their needs and peculiarities.
I said equality and end of discrimination. We want a society where every girl, no matter her situation, should have the same opportunity as boys.
According to the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family, the Girls' Forum is not just an end, but the starting point of a Cameroon where girls can say their rights are respected, their voices count, and their future belongs to them.
Thanks very much, Ate Bonaventure. And in sports, Douala is tightening its grip on the African Zone 4 Volleyball Championship League, with teams from the littoral region actually delivering a back-to-back victory and strengthening their position and dominance on the court. Let's get the updates of this competition with Latte Cynthia.
Little team of Douala continues its run in the African Zone 4 Champions League. The women secured a third consecutive win this Thursday against DRC's volleyball club, La Loire, 3-0, with contributions from Michelle Wete and Tina Bombo.
The little team particularity today was counter-attack. The position was not quite easy. When the girls had the opportunity to make a reception, even if the reception was broke, I could go and give the best setting.
These matches, we stay a little bit calm than the first match, because Sunday we are a little bit nervous sometimes and lost one set, but today our focus and our opponent is most important for me, and the players, it was very security.
On the men's side, Paul de Denom of Douala also registered a 3-0 win over DRC's Service National after a match marked by consistent blocking and serving.
Step is the next game tomorrow, so we are focused about the next game to win it well, to qualify and to be certain, to put ourselves in confidence.
Little team maintains its momentum by defeating DRC's volleyball club, Espoir, through a structured style of play. With these victories, Douala clubs are positioning themselves as contenders for the title.
Cynthia Latte drawing the cuttings for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atembe, in which you got news that Elekam officials are raising up to complete last-minute preparations ahead of November 30 regional elections in the country. Matthew Fangwa is just right ahead with le débrief de l'actualité sportive. From all of us, it's goodbye, and wish you the best for the weekend.